Hello everybody, Joe Bagnuts here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Last time we left off, we had a bit of a pickle on our hands, trying to solve this mystery, but I don't want to say I've cracked it, but I think I'm on a really fucking good lead, okay? My plan was to spend all of yesterday, working through it, but I only got through a little. I got my whiteboard out, started writing on it, I'm like, I don't have enough room, I don't know how much room I'm gonna need. And I essentially scrapped that idea. So today, when I got home from work, I just opened up a Word document and started typing. I went through the characters, typed out all their purple statements. I went through the Twilights and wrote down pretty much all the narration text that wasn't spoken by a character, but is like the unequivocal, truth of the story, because there is no reader, there can be no unreliable narrator. So it's 100% true white text, none in quotations, that kind of thing. And I think I'm doing pretty good. All right, so I'll just bust it out straight and go with my theory off the cuff. All right, so I think our culprits are going to be Battler, Rudolph, and Kyrie. Now the reason I say that is, first off, let's go to the first Twilight, specifically with, well, actually we'll have to go to the second Twilight to look at our red text here. Culprit of the first Twilight. So I'm going to take this text as saying, by the end of the second Twilight, the culprit of the first has killed 6 people. And the way I get that math to work is, on the first Twilight, it doesn't matter if Rudolph or Kyrie is the culprit of the first Twilight, they're interchangeable. Kills Ava, that's 1. Hideyoshi, that's 2. Rosa, that's 3. And the important part here is Genji being 4. Because Genji is in there, we can get to our 4 in the first Twilight, in that murder in the dining hall. And then once we add Kraus and Natsuhi, we get to our 6 during the second. It doesn't say that the killer killed 6 in the first Twilight, just that the culprit of the first killed 6 people. And the reason I'm going with those two is, we know George can't kill Shannon. That's corroborated by multiple people in the what Twilight is that? Hold on, I'm not by character, by chapter. What was here? The fourth. Okay. Where is it? Multiple people. Anyone could have killed her besides George. At least regarding Shannon, it was impossible for George to be the murderer. We know Jessica's good. She has been verified as a reliable source because she is dead. Confirmed dead. I've even color-coded the names about who's confirmed dead, who's unconfirmed dead, who's alive, and who they're confirmed dead by. So, Jessica, confirmed dead. We can trust her saying anyone could have done it besides George. And Battler also says anyone could have killed her besides George. Goda, not one of us has an alibi. Goda is verifiable. He's dead. So we can trust Battler to be untrustworthy, which brings us back to my person, I guess. I believe it was Shannon. The death of each parent was confirmed by their own child. So if Battler is our unreliable, source of information for the first Twilight, he could have lied and said that his parents were dead when they were not. And that's an easy one for the locked room. For the dining hall and for Nazi and Krause's room. It sounds really complicated until we're going by chapter. It's going to be regarding the master keys. Where is it? All doors can only be locked or unlocked with a master key. Of course, it is possible to lock or unlock the doors from the inside of a room even without a master key. Now, if Rudolph and Kyrie are in the dining hall, they can obviously lock it from the inside. We know that it had to get unlocked. Goda and Kumasawa both verified that, the room was locked and they had to unlock it. Okay, so they're in there. They killed 4 people. 2 people are pretending to be dead. They lock the door, covered in blood. Battler comes in, lies. Moving on to the second Twilight, they all go to the parlor. They can just leave the dining hall. After that, it's never specified that the dining hall is relocked or anything, I believe. Yeah, they destroyed Genji's master key. They never mentioned locking the dining hall. They mentioned sealing it, and that the seal is never broken, but that doesn't matter because they're no longer in there. So, moving on to the second Twilight. One person goes and hides in Kraus and Natsuki's room. Now, why is that important? Because at the beginning of the second Twilight, it mentions that Kraus and Natsuki go upstairs alone to go to one of their rooms. This is important because it mentions the only keys that can unlock anything are the master keys. Only the servants have the master keys. For them to get into their own room, it would have to be unlocked, which means it can only be locked from the inside. Now, either Rudolph or Kyrie, again, it doesn't matter. Well, whoever is the killer of the first Twilight, they have to be in that room, kill them, and hide. Now, Jessica, she goes off and mentions that she searches for a clue. Any clue whatsoever. We know that the room is locked. Made sure that no one would be able to enter or leave until the police arrived. That doesn't mean she found anything when she was sure that they left a clue. They didn't even, really search the room at all. Yeah, she searched all over the room looking for a clue. In the end, all she found was that the windows and doors were locked, never that there was no one inside hiding. If the culprit of the first Twilight also knocks off Kraus and Natsuki, they lock the door, hide again, and then it gets sealed, and it's never opened. Again, let me go to the red text for that, because once they get around to sealing all the doors in the mansion, not that one, seals in the room. All the seals on Natsuki's room, the dining hall, and the mansion itself will never be broken. They don't need to. The explosion accident is going to happen. They could have had some contingency plan to, swing by after everyone else is already dead, bust them out, do a cover-up, whatever. If they're going off a game plan where the person who killed Natsuki and Kraus stays hunkered down in that room until everything's all over, and then they can take them out, and then they can, do some cover-upping, whatever. Great. Now, the second parent, they leave the mansion, and they can either go to the guest house or be around outside the guest house. I am going to work under the assumption that they are on the inside of the guest house, just because it makes things easier. Now, as for Shannon, it's really simple. It's the outside, no locked room. It specifies no one has an alibi. I'm just going to put that one on Battler because that is what makes my theory work. Essentially, it's free reign. Anyone can kill Shannon for whatever reason. No one has an alibi. Cool. Except for George. So Battler does that. They retreat into the guest house. If the killer is already in the guest house, the locked room doesn't matter. The locked room isn't about the servant's room. It's about the guest house being the locked room. And Battler goes off, well, we've all been busy keeping a lookout, locked up. No one has an alibi. Again, they could be outside. The doors can be unlocked and locked from the inside. Battler could have let the killer in, doesn't matter. Anyway. Second killer gets in, kills fucking Goda and Kumasawa. That works because, according to Jessica, a reliable source, the four cousins and Dr. Nanjo couldn't have killed Goda and Kumasawa. Great. Then in that interim, Nanjo. Nanjo is particularly hard for me to explain, mainly because it's worded very odd. Where is it? The one of the four, the culprit. Impossible, judging by the circumstances, Maria, Battler, George, and I couldn't have killed Dr. Nanjo. Okay, that's easily, our second killer from the dining hall, one of the parents. The same person who knocked off Goda and Kumasawa. No one else could kill Dr. Nanjo. No one could kill Dr. Nanjo inside the guest house. Okay. And then from Battler, this is proof Dr. Nanjo didn't leave the guest house, but Battler is our unreliable narrator. He could have left, or been lured out, or pushed out, whatever, killed outside, dumped back in. That's the real easy way to get around that. How solid that is, I'm real shaky on that one. I'm gonna go with he was killed outside. Battler reopened the door, locked it once they were back inside. Whatever. We'll reread the Seventh Twilight to see what it's saying, like what the cousins were up to. I reread it right before I recorded this, but I've been reading through so much information, my brain's a little spacey. Pardon me, but that's what I'm going off of there. And then for Jessica, second killer outside, she flew out, got murked. And then that's when we get into the riddle problem. There's two people are lying, one's telling the truth with George, Maria, and Battler. For Maria, the three of us couldn't have killed Jessica. Correct. George, Maria couldn't kill anyone. Correct. George couldn't kill an adult, but he could kill a child. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. This whole thing basically doesn't matter, because if we mark it up to the second parent killer, this is all extraneous information. And yeah, and then Maria, no way she could live through this. She's dead. Dead. Super dead. Dead. And then that's my theory. And then after that, it doesn't matter. So, reread the story. Seventh Twilight. This time, Dr. Nanjo was the one who was killed. He was killed in the entrance hall of the guest house. Also, that's, text that is, also makes things complicated, because who said, it was impossible? I think it was George. Where's George? I have his text somewhere. Seventh Twilight. No one could kill Dr. Nanjo inside the guest house. But then it also says here, he was killed in the entrance hall of the guest house. I don't think that is... We'll get to that text, where is it? Everything locked up. How did this happen? It's a locked room. Incident death. He's been killed. Means the culprit is one of us. Possible. Battler, George, and I couldn't have killed Dr. Nanjo. In the first place, no one could kill Dr. Nanjo inside the guest house. A little bit of a contradictory thing going on there. But whatever. We could also say that, well, it couldn't have been George. I was about to just revise my theory, be like, oh, George killed Dr. Nanjo. That's why his statement here contradicts the narration text. But no, Jessica, says right before that Maria, Battler, and George couldn't have killed Nanjo. I'm going to assume this is him saying no one in the guest house could have killed Nanjo. Basically, doubling up on Jessica's statement there. And then we get to Battler. Simply put, this is proof Dr. Nanjo couldn't leave the guest house. However, there's nothing saying that in the interim someone could have we're on the previous Twilight here. The text log doesn't differentiate. You can go back and like go through all the different Twilights. So he's killing the entrance hall of the guest house. It doesn't talk about alibis. It just says they couldn't have done it. Okay, cool. And it says he couldn't have left the guest house. So, lured out, killed, brought back in, Balor locks the door or something. And then the killer's outside, they get Jessica when she leaves, boom, done. But we will go through some of the more hints to see what, Battler and Beatrice have to say about it. Yes, but you can relock the door from the inside. No. I'll just skip. That's my theory. Theory crafting, done. But let's get some hints. I don't want to just jump into the end there and, get it wrong. And then it's like, want. Burn laughs at us and then we game over. Nope. Pretty much all of them are the call came from inside the house kind of murders. The Master's Key it's a fucking wild goose chase going after them. Red herring. There we go. I was thinking Chekhov's gun, but I'm like, no, that's not it. Since it's been guaranteed that all 5 servants are innocent, we know that Master Keys have nothing to do with the crimes. Nope. At least with my theory. Yep. Just how and why it is very important in that red statement that it says the doors can be locked and unlocked from the inside. That's like a linchpin of like every single theory. We can drop saves in here. You can't drop a save in the burn menu. So I'm just gonna drop a save here. I'll go with my theory first, and then if we're proven that's wrong, that's fine. And really, we don't need to think that hard about the howdunnits. All we care about, Burns said in the beginning, is who done it. All we're looking for is the culprits. The only condition is no device X's, and where is it? Like, all murders must be committed by, the killer's own hand. Where is it? Definition of culprit is one who murders. It's possible for a culprit to lie. It's possible for a culprit to lie even before committing the murder. Characters who are not culprits can only speak the truth. Characters who are not culprits may not cooperate with a culprit. A culprit must carry out all murders directly by their own hands. A culprit must not die. A culprit must be among the characters behind the story. Purple statements are absolutes as red truths. However, the culprit may alone lie with purple statements. Outside of spoken statements, there are no lies in the narration. Let's give it a shot. Oh, I don't like that face you're making. Culprits. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, boy. Make it a whole little family affair. I don't know if that breaking screen is good, or if it's, just auto-load, like you fucked up, dumbass. And then Anjay is kind of like sneaking into this story, who can be like our person who's like looking behind the scenes, watching all the machinations happen behind the curtain, who can give us like an actual truth. Anjay flew out of the guest house, sobbing. Was there anyone still alive on this island? When she checked the cousin's room earlier, it had been completely empty. However, she remembered that she hadn't seen Battler's body, or George's, or Maria's. What she didn't know was whether this meant that they were safe, or whether she was about to be reunited with them as corpses. She dashed around through the rain. Where was she going? Nowhere in particular. The lost little sister dashed around in circles, searching for her brother, drenched with rain and all alone. Eventually, I thought I heard my brother's voice from beyond a bush. No, it wasn't just his voice. I heard George Oni-chan's and Marie One-chan's voices too. I called out at the top of my lungs, but they didn't answer. But it's okay now. They're right there, just on the other side of the fence. I could even faintly see them through the fence. When I ran around the fence, I found myself standing in front of a shed or something. Must be a shed to store tools for the rose garden. The three of them were standing in front of the shed. I cried out, but my voice didn't reach them. Even though I yelled so loudly, something felt very wrong about all this. When people hear a voice, even when they pretend not to have heard it, they always tend to show some sign that they've noticed. However, there's no trace of that in the three of them. Even though I was screaming so loud, it truly wasn't reaching their ears. The instant I understood that, my dash towards them slowed and came to a halt. Though we appeared to be in the same world, we were actually in different worlds entirely. It was like a TV. Or was it more like ghosts? I could see them clearly, but as far as they were concerned, I didn't exist. After all, look. Even if I was standing right in front of them, their eyes can't see me. If I try and touch them, would I really be able to? What if my hand just goes right through? I was so scared at that thought, I could do nothing but stand there in shock, even though I was so close to them. So I'm just gonna open OBS real quick, because I had Microsoft Word open, checking all my notes. So I couldn't actually see that I was recording. I knew I was because I hit the record button. I could see the red light come on, but OBS had been hidden, and I get scared when that happens. Nope.
島の外から何者かが入り込んでるんだ。そしてそいつが後ろ宮家を皆殺しにしてるんだ。
どんなに閉じこもっても必ず誰かが殺されてしまう。やっぱりこれは魔女の仕業。
みんな落ち着いて考えよう。この島には後ろ宮家の人間以外は存在しないんだ。
そんなはずはねえぜ。だって現にこうして後ろ宮家の誰にも不可能な殺人が何度も起こってるじゃねえか。
それはそうだけど、
I mean, not entirely.
本当にそうだろうか。僕たちには見落としがあるんじゃないだろうか。
見落としって？
例えば、そうさ、死んだふりとか。
I mean, probably.
この島に後ろ宮家の人間しかいない以上、
That's the crux of my
犯人だ
theory.
って後ろ宮家の人間しかいないんだ。だとしたら僕たちが死んだと思い込んでいる誰かが実は死んでなかったということになる。
しかし兄貴、それはありえねえぜ。全員の死体を必ず誰かが検視してる。死んだふりなんか絶対にできねえはずだ。
考えたくはない。でもその検視さえも偽られているとしたら、つまりこういうことさ。犯人は初めから複数犯だったんだ。そして一人は殺されたふりをして、一人は間違いなく死んでいると嘘をつく。そして死んだふりをした犯人は犯行を重ね、あたかも後ろ宮家以外の人間が島に紛れ込んでいるかのような幻想を。
And the reason that, I went with Battler and, you know, Rudolph and Kiria instead of George and Ava and Hideyoshi is it can't be we don't get enough bodies, or we get like too much bodies if Rosa is the killer. You know. Because what was the red for the first Twilight? It was that they killed 6 people. Where is it? It's the red of the second Twilight. The culprit of the first Twilight definitely killed 6 people. So, if Rosa did it, it would have to be 7. Because it would have been Genji, Ava, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kirie, Natsuhi, Kraus. We have too many. And the reason I'm not going with George is George can't kill Shannon. Which means he can't be a culprit, going by my theory. My like, I can't slot him in to make it work. In some of his other statements, let me get to George's statements. Maria can't kill anyone. Jessica died instantly. No one could kill Dr. Nanjo in the guest house. Instant death. Guest house is still completely locked up. Okay, George is like pretty good. But Battler's statements are really, really broad, and if Battler statements can only be true, then that is real hard. I mean, not really, now that I re-look at it. You know, the only purple statements Battler said was in the first Twilight, nothing suspicious found in the dining hall. 2, on the second Twilight, Dr. Nanjo checked their pulses and announced they died instantly, and that they sealed the dining hall in the same way with the tape. On the fourth Twilight, anyone who could have killed her besides George. On the sixth Twilight, none of us have an alibi. Fifth, sixth Twilight, no master keys exist, except those who lie dead here. 7th, this is proof Dr. Nanjo didn't leave the guest house. And yeah. Yep. So really, you could throw, I mean, no, you can't. Because then we'd have, like, too many culprits. Because if George... How am I putting this? Because each kid confirms the death of their parents. Which means, if you're the culprit, your parents, you know, it's iffy, but everyone else is dead. Dead. So you can't, like, you know, confirm the death of your parents, then, like, I don't know, use someone else's parent. It just doesn't work with George, I think.
George の兄貴は後宮家の誰かが犯人だってまだ疑ってんのかよ。
南條先生は殺された。
Because going off my theory, Shannon is the linchpin because she's basically your Joker, you know, your blank check to, like, make a culprit. The only thing that fucks with that is when you get to the, like, 8th Twilight and they start going on about how what was it? Who said Maria couldn't kill anyone? That was George. So Maria can't kill anyone. Maria said George couldn't kill an adult. He could kill a child, though. Shannon is an adult. She is 19, confirmed. So Maria, we know, isn't a culprit. And she is saying George can't kill an adult, which means he can't kill Shannon, which makes it so we have to put Battler in. That was my line of thinking now that I'm re-going through it and, like, reconstructing my argument.
殺された以上、犯人ではないと考えるのが妥当だろう。そして、お医者である南條先生の検視が一番信頼できたと考えられる。
If so, then we can probably assume that the people whose death Nanjo checked were almost certainly dead. Did Nanjo check? Genji's corpse? Krasnatsu's corpses? Shannon's corpse? Godon Kumasawa's corpses?
最初の食堂の死体。
He never checked any of them.
あの6人の犠牲者のうち、 南條先生は源氏さんの死体しか検視をしていないんだ。
マリアたちがそれぞれ確認したはずだよ。
What if one of us lied?
しかし
Or is just
南
mistaken?
條先生が確認したわけじゃない。
何を言ってんだよ。あの無芸殺され方でどう親父たちが生きてるってんだよ。それにジョージ
It
の
was
兄
never
貴が何を
described
言
how
って
they
るんだ。
died, just that they were covered with blood.
ってことは俺たちの親の誰かが犯人だって言ってんのかよ。そりゃねえだろ。真っ先に殺されてこれだけ大勢が殺されてどうやったらさらにその上俺たちの親が犯人だなんて言えるんだよ。許せねえ。あんな殺され方をした親父たちをさらにこの上疑って恥ずかしめるなんて。たとえ
ごめん。
And then if we want to go into the why he done it for Battler, we can just make an easy narrative of, oh, he remembered his promise with Shannon, and then he's like, oh, that fucking two-timing bitch she got together with George when I was gone, I'll kill her.
マリアのママがちゃんと死んでたよ。じゃあジョージお兄ちゃんの親かバトラーの親か
Most likely.
どっちかが犯人。
もうよそう。マリアちゃん、僕もちょっと混乱してたみたいだ。
ジョージお兄ちゃんはシャノンを殺さないよ。
もうよせよ。
Battler would, though.
俺たちの誰も
Dumb
親
bitch.
族を殺したりするわけなんかねえだろ。
だからジョージお兄ちゃんがお父さんとお母さんが本当は生きてるのに死んでるなんて嘘をつかないと思う。ジョージお兄ちゃんは
Yep.
シャノンが殺されるような事件の片棒を担ぐわけがない。
Calmly, as though answering a quiz or puzzle, Maria spoke to George. Then, with a blank look on her face, she turned to Battler and spoke. You would.
バトラはお父さんとお母さんの死体を見た。
ああ見たさ。みんなも見ただろ。あんな血まみれで
Mm-hmm.
ひでえ死に様で。
バトラが嘘をついてると思う。
Yep.
はあどうしてそうなるんだよ。
そうすると筋が通る。
Yeah.
最初の食堂でバトラの両親は死んでなかったの。その片方が夏日おばさんたちを殺し、内側から鍵を閉めて部屋にとどま
They're
る。
still in there.
もう片方がそれ以降の殺人を引き継いだ。ゲストハウスの密室を破るには内側に協力者がいなくてはならない。
Mm-hmm.
それがバトラ。全部説明がつくよ。
If it did, basically my explanation.
いい加減にしろ。
But again, that's the obvious one, you know. This is the game. Oh god, was it game 6? You know, Natsuki was fucking Kinzo. You know, a red truth explanation. You know, there's a chance that's what I came up with. You know, a solution with another gold truth one buried in there somewhere that I wasn't able to, you know, come to.
よさないかバトラ君。マリアちゃんも。
やっと頭の中の狼と羊のパズルがぴったりと収まった。犯人はバトラ一家。おう、正解？
何を言って
Yo,
や
what are you talking about? I'll kill you!
正解よ。
The voice came from behind Anjay. She spun around, surprised. There, covered in blood, yet wearing cheery expressions, were Rudolph and Kyrie.
ルドルフおじさん、キリエおばさん、無事で。
After saying that much, George realized what the words meant, and his face twisted into an expression of shock and horror. Maria wasn't surprised. However, she showed no joy at having her answer proven correct. And as for Battler, Anjay saw it. A terrible expression that she would never forget as long as she lived. Yep, his evil smile. It was a demon's smile. A hideous demon that she'd never be able to look at again twisted its face in a foul grin. And the truly horrible thing was that she saw it in her brother's face. Rudolph and Kyrie lifted up guns that they had been holding behind them. The barrels were pointed at the foreheads of George, who was staggering backwards, and Maria, who was grinning as though she didn't care what happened. There was a flash of lightning and a crack of thunder. Nothing more could be heard. Then, as George and Maria were snapped around by that roar, the strings holding them were snipped. The two dolls fell into puddles with a splash and stopped moving. Well, this is Burn Castell's, game, so this tracks. All of this occurred right before Angé's eyes. Yeah, ham it up, everyone. You get to be the villains again, but also Battler. He gets to join in this time. Angé, who stood stunned behind them, was invisible to their eyes. They guffawed, overcome with laughter. Then, right in front of Angé, they started joking and complimenting each other on their kills so far. The three hideous faces of her family, made Angé want to cry and vomit at the same time, and she felt as though she would suffocate. Angé dashed away, covering her mouth. She wanted to escape the disgusting laughter coming from her beloved family as soon as possible. Then, she slipped and fell face down in a puddle of mud. She didn't try to get up. In fact, she instead chose to cover her ears and block out the disgusting laughter that she could still hear. As she did, in the shadows of the fences and bushes in this inky black rose garden, several dark things slipped into sight. Angé looked around herself in surprise to see that eerie black shapes had appeared from all over the garden and were slowly surrounding her. It was a crowd of people with goat heads. Their outfits were all different. Some wore suits, while others were dressed casually. Oh really, some of the goat people came in their fucking basketball shorts, Crocs, and a hoodie? However, all of them were covered with darkness, and all of them had goat heads. Angé, bewildered, accidentally let her hands fall from her ears. By now, she couldn't hear that disgusting laughter. However, in its place, she could hear the words spoken by the goats. Good thing we have the subtitles. I couldn't hear shit. As the goats continued to mumble in eerie voices, they surrounded Angé and began to draw nearer. They all pressed around her, each of them speaking of Angé's family as the culprits. The two sides of the scale, the happy family party, everyone got along, and then your family did it all. At first, everyone had joined in on the Ava culprit theory. The sole survivor from Rokkenjima had gotten almost all the wealth to herself, so the theory was only natural. Why was Ushiromiya Ava the only one who escaped to Kuwadorian? And why did she refuse so stubbornly to talk about what had happened that day? It was decided that the Ava culprit theory explained all this. However, when Ava died of illness, and people learned that all of the vast wealth she had created by unscrupulous means would go to Angé, public opinion, or rather, the forgers, created a new culprit theory and spread it around. This was the Rudolph's family culprit theory. If it was normal for everyone to come to the family conferences, why was Anjay the only one who didn't come this time? Did Rudolph's family have some reason for not bringing the young Anjay with them? Did they take Battler? I mean, they did take Battler, but he wasn't Kirie's son. Then, when it was revealed in some magazines that Kirie's family had close ties to a massive gangster organization, all eyes suddenly gathered on Kirie herself. Then, the truth was also laid bare about how Rudolph had made a killing out of fraudulent business practices, and almost immediately, the couple became thought of as the most suspicious people on the island. Hideyoshi and Ava's company might have been rough, but at least it operated within the law. However, the more Rudolph's company was investigated, the more dirt was dug up. Furthermore, trouble surrounding some party tickets from the time Rudolph and Kirie were students was also testified to. It was clear that they were far more suspicious than Ava's family. And so, in a flash, the Rudolph's family culprit theory expelled the other conspiracy theories, including the Ava culprit theory, and reigned as the greatest of them all. It wasn't really because it was more plausible than the Ava culprit theory. They had just gotten bored of the old theory and wanted a new sensation. The goats seemed to bend and undulate. The sky rapidly turned white, becoming a ceiling lit by fluorescent lamps. Hey girls, what's good? The goats all changed completely, becoming the shapes of girls, wearing goat masks. All the girls were wearing the same clothes. It was uniform. Uniform of St. Lucia Academy.
本当の犯人はルドルフとキリエなんだって。
聞いたそうだよね。娘だけ置いてくなんてなんかおかしいもんね。後ろ宮エヴァって確か本人は毒殺されてるって訴えてんでしょ。
That's just paranoid people talk.
じゃあもう黒幕は誰か明白じゃん。
いいよね。一族の財産すべて独り占めなんでしょ。
やっぱルドルフ一家犯人説だって思ってたんだよね。後ろ宮さんってどこかおかしいって思ってたんだよね。
I mean, you're not wrong. They are a very strange family.
おかしいと思ってたよね。ルドルフとキリエが犯人。
バトラも犯人じゃないの？ルドルフ一家犯人説。
ルドルフとキリエが犯人。
財産を独り占めにしようとしたんだけど、エヴァに返り討ちにあってそれで失敗して。
Yeah, and then Ava blew up the island and killed them, but she survived.
でも結局は後ろ宮園長の独り占めなんでしょ？
ルドルフとキリエが犯人だって。
ルドルフ一家犯人説。ルドルフとキリエとバトラが犯人。
ルドルフとキリエとバトラが犯人。
Yep. 9/11 was an inside job, all that fun stuff.
それってどう思う？ねえ。
でも結局財産は全てあなたが独り占めできるんでしょ？
後ろ宮エヴァはそれであなたには何も語らなかったのよね。絶対にあの子が怪しいって思ってたのよ。
エヴァがあんたに辛く当たったことも全て説明がつくわ。
ねえ何か言ってよ。本当気持ち悪い子だよね。
Okay, you're not wrong there. She does like talk to herself behind like the cafeteria reading a book in a bush.
ルドルフ一家犯人説ってどう思うか。ちょっとくらい何か言いなさいよ。
A blade of air swept over me as I crouched down, holding my head. The heart. In a flash, the illusion of the goat-headed girl students who were surrounding me shattered. I was curled up in a puddle in the rainy rose garden, surrounded by goats. But then, those goats who were also sliced in half, and the upper half slid to the side. It was like seeing a master swordsman slicing through a stick of bamboo.
こっち。
The voice came from that black cat. The black cat with the bell that had guided me here. Incredible that it can talk. That doesn't matter now. I dashed after it. The goat shrank back. A hole opened up in the encirclement. The black cat dashed through it. As I hurried through after it, the goats began to chase after me. Countless heavy footsteps thundered behind us.
どこまで逃げるの、黒猫さん。
The cat ignored my stupid question. Where are we running to? It's obvious. As far away as we can make it. However, there were an unbelievable number of goats. It wasn't just a group chasing us. There were probably goats hiding throughout the rose garden, and everywhere we went, a group of them would appear and block our path. Each time we bumped into them, we ran down a different path in this maze of a rose garden. So, I didn't even know which direction we were running anymore. Couldn't it be that we're just running around in circles inside a massive crowd of goats, could it? When we ran into the arbor once more, I learned that my fears were justified. The 4 paths that led from the arbor were all blocked by a crowd of goats. Of course, the path we had come down was also blocked by our pursuers. There was nowhere to go, nowhere to return to. We were finally trapped.
黒猫さん、どうしよう。
With a defensive posture, the black cat glared at the goats that surrounded us. It's all over for us. I'm confused about the cat now. Because before, the cat was, an avatar of, Burnkastel, who is, trying to fucking get one over on Anjay and Battler and whatnot. But now the cat is helping Anjay. At that moment, I found myself floating in the air. A massive arm, large enough to crush my entire head, grabbed my collar from behind. Before I could even think to cry out, I saw right in front of my face a pair of strangely glowing red eyes and a massive mouth with jagged teeth and foul breath. The mouth opened wide, and writhing as though it was a separate creature, a disturbing tongue stuck itself out. Then it spat words at me. You really need to speak up. Yep. Exactly as I said. It's a truth, just like all the other ones so far. Then, that gaping, smelly mouth slowly began to close over Anjay's head.
反論。ルドルフ一家犯人説以外でもロジックの構築は可能です。
Alright, you get your little fucking redemption moment. A blue flash sliced off the top of the mouth that was trying to eat Anjay's head, sending it flying. I was too busy thinking about Erica. Let me read what she said. It's possible from a logical theory other than the Rudolph family culprit theory. Possible to form. I fell into a puddle, along with a goat that was still grasping my collar, though there was nothing left of it above its jaw. Without any hesitation, the goats stretched out their thick arms, as though this was their chance to snatch this prey from themselves, and they rushed towards me. All of them spoke in unison. You sure about that? Oh, right on blue, huh?
ルドルフ一家犯人説以外でもロジックの構築は可能です。
Alright, hit us with it.
例えばジョージ一家犯人説でも可能です。
A red flash and a blue line became blades of wind that passed over my head. Flew at the goats that had tried to pick me up, and sliced both of its arms off like a knife through butter. I think the next goats dashed, not towards me, but it was the black cat that was protecting me from behind. As I sat on my butt, staring up at the rainy night sky, the massive goats were in the air right above me, fighting the black cat, or someone. I don't know, one of his parents killed Shannon?
犯人は殺人者のことと定義されています。そして殺人は登場人物に対して行われたものにしか限定しないとは言っていません。すなわちジョージが当該ですでに本件以外の殺人を犯していたならば、この島で誰も殺せなかったとしても犯人であり嘘をつくことが可能というわけです。
Big outside the box thinking. The deep red curves cut by the swings bit into the goats. Its massive body was knocked into the air and became a bundle of roughly 7 logs of flesh and was thrown into the rose bushes. This time, the terrible force of the attack shocked the goats. They faltered, shook, stepped back. Finally, I understood. That red slice had come from a weapon that could draw red trails. No, it had also drawn blue trails just a second ago. A massive scythe that could speak both types of truth, red and blue at will. I looked up at the sky, then let my head hang down backwards. There was no black cat there. It was a girl holding a large scythe. Yes, yes, very good. A stir passed through the crowd of goats as they acknowledged the presence of this girl who called herself Erica. It was clear that her mere existence here was potent enough to unsettle them. Clutching me in her arms, Erica leapt into the air and landed as light as a feather on top of the arbor. Then, she let go of me and, still wielding her scythe, bid an elegant curtsy to the crowd of goats surrounding us.
初対面の方々がほとんどでしょう。自己紹介です。はじめまして。こんにちは。探偵フルドエリカと申します。
Yeah, we know.
ルドルフ一家犯人
I'll
説しか
begrudgingly
思いつ
accept
か
you.
ない石ころ頭どもはどうぞお引き取りを。あるいは私を論破できるおつもりでいる皆さんはどうか歓迎を。無論私も歓迎して差し上げます。
Yeah, but your theory is unfair to argue against because it's made on a broad, a broad claim that, oh, George just committed a murder before he got to the island. There's no way to refute that. At least with the evidence that we are presented with for arguing. The goats all howled at once. It seemed to be a cry of shock, of fear, or possibly of wonder. The goats surrounded the arbor, chattering, but not moving any closer. None of them had the courage to stand against this detective, this witch of truth called Frodo Erica.
やれやれ、幾万と集まってこのざまですか。どなたもこのフルドエリカと
Look, I put this theory together in like, honestly, an hour and a half in total, okay? I pretty much did it as soon as I came home from work. And that was at like 4. It's currently right now in the recording, like an hour into the recording, 7:30. And that's not even including me watching YouTube and eating popcorn before I started this. As I was like typing. Hell, most of my time theory crafting just came from me getting my Word document all set up.
ならば残念。お開きにさせていただきましょう。
I can even throw it up on a screen at the end of the video so you can look at it and see all my spelling errors because I used Microsoft Word's dictate function where I just speak into the microphone and it does it all on its own, but it always makes a bunch of spelling mistakes, especially with names. It definitely put down Nazi when I was talking about Nazi a lot of the time, And I just never corrected it because I knew what it was talking about.
さりかてこのフルドエリカ石頭の間抜け諸君を一人一人論破していくほど時間が余ってもおりません
Though I will need to blur out my name on the top of Microsoft Word because it does have my full actual name because it's linked to my Microsoft account. And I don't really feel like doxing myself today.
後片付けは彼女にお願いすることとしましょうお願いします
When Erica cried out, red cracks opened in the dark night sky. It looked like the spiderweb-shaped fissures that appeared when a glass window had been struck hard. Oh, it actually was a spiderweb, colored blood red. A laugh, a witch's laugh, rang out through the spiderweb-covered world. It sounded somehow familiar to Anjay. There, standing above the spiderweb, gazing down on the goats who must have looked like ensnared little bugs, was the witch. Yeah, all the heroes, whatever. Yeah, tell them how they should all just die. It was the witch who lurked inside of Ava, a witch of the future, who would one day call herself the Endless Witch after the cat box closed over this world. Yeah, you all get your little redemption at the end. Whatever. I say, grinning slightly. Don't take this as me not being, entertained or happy with the progression of the story. I'm just begrudgingly like, fine, you can have your redemption, whatever, I don't care. Because I'm salty. Ava swung her one-winged staff at the crowd of foolish goats beneath her and sentenced them to death. The spiderweb ceiling covering the heavens plummeted, and more spiderwebs seeped out of the ground at the goats' feet. Then, the webs from above and below met, and thousands upon thousands of goats were caught in their grasp. Then, as Ava swung her staff, it swirled, around and around, like egg yolk being mixed in a bowl. Eventually, it was all packed into a massive, blood-red lump of goo. The bones of goats drifted out from inside. That entire crowd had been compressed into a meatball a few meters across. Gross!
あなたたちはエヴァ犯人説で思考停止がお似合いです潰れて消えちゃえば
Thank you for flashbanging me. The lights in my sunroom here are all out and the drapes are all closed, so ouch. Squelch. No other word could do that sound justice. After sucking in all those goats, the spiderweb ball vanished into thin air with a squelch. After that, there wasn't even a trace left. Only the nighttime scenery of the rose garden remained, silent but for the sound of the falling rain. Ava drifted down from the sky.
おばさんはいつだってエンジェちゃんの味方よ。あなたの家族の悪口を言う人なんか許さないんだから。エヴァおばさん。
Don't get all cutesy with us, please. You're a 40-something-year-old woman. I think. I knew I should be grateful. And yet, it really wasn't easy for me to believe that Aunt Ava was my ally. Ava realized that too.
いいの。 謝されたくてしてるんじゃな。でも私はいつだってあなたの味方よ。じゃあね。
Yep, see you in therapy. She giggled, spun around, and vanished. Now that she had already left, I started to regret not saying even a thank you. So, I figured I should at least thank the other person who had saved me.
助けてくれてありがとう。あなたはどなたですか？
The detective. I already knew her name. What I was really asking was why she had saved me.
私は探偵フルドエリカ、そして同時に魔女でもあります。
魔女？
Birds of a feather.
真実の魔女、一なる真実を追求するものです。そしてそれはあなたのことでもありますね。
Those 2 days, October 4th and 5th, 1986. I was so desperate to know what happened that I took a step off the roof of that skyscraper, drifted through several witch games and fragment worlds, and abandoned myself to this long journey with no rewards. All I want is to know what happened that day. All I want is the single truth of that day.
それを求めるのが真実の魔女です。だからあなたは私と同じなんです。だから助けに来ました。
私は知りたいの。一体あの日に何があったの？誰も教えてくれない。誰にもわからない。
Oh, they kind of just all blew up.
でも確かにあの日に何かがあったの。
Yeah, you're not wrong.
私はそれを知るためなら何だって投げ出せる。それだけが私が命を捨てても知りたい唯一のことなの。だから教えて。あなたは知っているの？一体この島で何があったの？
真実の魔女にとって真実は与えられるものですか？私がこれが真実だとあなたに押し付けたなら、あなたはそれを鵜呑みにする気ですか？
それは
Gotta find it.
バトラさんはあなたに今日何を見せてくれましたか
？Today, Oni-chan showed me a bizarre Halloween party. It may have been heartwarming and a lot of fun, but it definitely wasn't the truth.
バトラさんはそれを真実だと言って、
違う。あんなの真実じゃない。
Alright, then how's that any different from this?
時に他人は真実だと称して私たちを惑わします。しかし真実の魔女はそれに惑わされることなく、一なる真実を追求しなければならないのです。だからあなたはバトラさんに押し付ける偽りの真実などに
Well,
納得でき
seems like you've at least done a little self-reflection when you were down in fucking oblivion.
本当の一なる真実を求めてやまないのです。
You know, digging for clams at the bottom of the ocean or whatever. Oni-chan is trying to muddy the waters. I felt that this whole time. Even though he knows everything about what happened that day, he won't tell me anything at all. How is any different from Aunt Ava, who mocked me and refused to tell me anything, even until the very moment of her death? Why won't Oni-chan tell me?
どうして教えてくれないの？
The dam inside my heart burst.
どうしてお兄ちゃんは私に本当のことを教えてくれないの？どうして私だけ知らない。私だけ誰も教えてくれない。教えてよ。あの日に何があったのか教えてよ、お兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃん。
I cried out at the rainy night sky. Hot tears poured from my eyes, but they were covered by the cold rain that beat against me, so no one other than me would know that they were tears. No one would know my pain and sadness. I'm always the only one left out, alone.
教えてよ、誰か。あの日に何があったのか教
誰にも教えられません。真実は自分で手にしなければならないからです。
真実はどこにあるの？どうやったら至れるの？
Very end of Ava of you,
教えてくれ
Erica.
ない？私の手で自ら至るから、お願いだから真実がどこに隠されているのかだけでも教えて。
いいわ。教えてあげてもいい。
Oh, okay. Thanks, Burn. As that voice rang out, the world bent and swirled. After blinking several times, I realized that the world had become a sea of stars. Oh, that's not quite right. There are stars up there in the sky, but those lights below me aren't stars. They're lights from building windows, street lights, and car lights. I was floating in the dark sky over a city lined with skyscrapers.
あなたに真実を教えることはできない。でも、どうやったら真実に至ることができるのか、その道を指し示してあげることはできる。
Yeah, fucking throw us a bone after everything you put us through.
あんたは
Various bad memories are jumping out at me from the back of my mind. That's right. I was chained in place to that strange theater thing and forced to watch a repulsive fragment where Mom and Dad committed murder.
あれを真実だとは言ってないわ。
でもあんたはあれ、
あんたが大声で遮ったから、続きが書き
Yeah,
消
she
え
never
ただけ。
finished.
これはすべて真実とは限らないと続けようとしたのよ。
あんたはどこまで私をもてあそぶ気なのよ。
それは謝るわ。でも試したかったの。
Yeah, again, it's like the whole red truth of Natsuhi getting the fucking Kinzo juice all up in her, dressed as Beatrice. Blah.
何をよ。
Fucking basted like a turkey.
あなたがどのようなものであれ、真実を受け止める覚悟があるのかどうかを。真実は時として期待を裏切るわ。
Can be something you'd rather not know.
あるいは最も望ま
Or
ない
just
形を取ること
disappointing
が
or
ある。
fucking nothing burger.
あなたに見せたあのかけらは、おそらくあなたにとっては想像しうる限り
Yeah, that one kind of sucked.
一番最悪なかけらでしょうね。でもそれに耐えてでも真実を求める力と勇気
It
が
could be that,
あなた
or something real similar. I have no comeback. Finding the truth is my goal. Just want to know what happened on that island that day. I don't think of myself as wanting to hear only the facts that are pleasing to me. Have I really been prepared to face that bloody, unbearable truth that's probably waiting there for me? If I find the truth, it'll mean having to confront my family's tragic end directly, and accept it as it is. And accepting that means abandoning my faint hope that, for that convenient miracle. The idea that one of them might have survived somehow, and might return even though 12 years have passed. Even though I know a miracle like that would be completely ridiculous. If I'm honest with myself, I have to admit that the faint hope it brought me has given me comfort these past 12 years. I want to know the truth, but I want one of them to come back. Those two wishes contradict each other. By learning the truth, I'll be forced to accept that no one's coming home.
真実はいつだって残酷よ。
I mean, not always.
時にそれは自分の希望を刈り取りさえする。
The truth is just truth.
多くの場合、人間は真実を得ることに対する対価に気づいていない。私はあなたにその覚悟があるのかどうか問いかけただけ。
Yeah, you were wavering a bit. You kind of like exploded into dust the last time you got shown a real fucked up truth. I must choose between my two contradicting wishes. Will I find the truth and abandon my optimistic hopes for my family's return? Or will I give up on the truth and keep waiting for the family that's never actually going to come back? Deceiving my numb self forever with the childish delusion my brother provided for me.
聞かせて、エンジェ。あなたに真実を知ろうとする覚悟は本当にあるの？
We got this far, we're like over 100 hours in, so fucking spill the beans,
あるわ
bitch.
その決意は揺るがない揺るがないわ
After hearing my immediate reply, Brinka still stared at me. Are those expressionless eyes of hers measuring my resolve? Now that my brother has even gone to the lengths of becoming a game master to cover up the truth, the only thing I can rely on in my search for the truth is the path that Bernkastel can show me. You're really gonna fucking tell us at like the 11th hour, oh yeah, everything I did that was so fucked up and mean to you? Yeah, I was really playing 10D chess, you know, to really just, lay the groundwork and really build you up for this. No hard feelings, huh?
真実を追い求める者の輝きを見たわ教えてくれるの私に真実に至る道を
I mean, not that she didn't enjoy doing it anyway, but, two birds, one stone. Get your yucks, while also maybe helping someone out.
ええあなたを導いてあげる忘れたのエンジェだって
Mm-hmm.
私はあなたの後見
You've
人
been
です
doing a real hands-off guardianship approach with her, though. Not gonna lie. Definitely a lot more stick than carrot. When did I last hear Bernkastel use that word? That's right. At the very beginning, I met her in this future world and became a witch with her as my guardian. That's when I became the Beatrice of 1998. The one who could defeat the Beatrice of 1986.
あなたは1998年のベアトリーチェエンジェ・ベアトリーチェ私が後見人となってあなたを魔女と認めたでも
Yeah, your
あな
guarantor,
た
your
はベアトと同
co-signer.
じ無限の魔女ではないわ真実の魔女そうエリカと同じ
Do you really want to be in that
あ
camp?
なたはいちなる真実を求めいかなるまやかしにも騙されることはない真実の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェには
Sure.
いちなる真実にたどり着
It's
く
in the
力
class
があるの
description.
ねあるわでもあなたにはその力をこれまで使うことはできなかったどうしてかわかる
Yeah, you've been real moody and wishy-washy.
今ならわかるわ私は真実を求めながらその一方で真実を知ることを無意識に拒んでいたそうあなたは真実を求めながらも真実を知ることで
Mm-hmm.
家族が帰ってくるかもしれないという奇跡が失われることを無意識に恐れただからいちなる真実に手を伸ばす資格がなかった言われるままだわ私には甘えがあったことを認めなくちゃならない
Yep. I must admit it. My entire family is dead. And with the recognition of that fact, I must expose why they died and who is behind it.
ありがとうあの薄暗い劇場で見せられたかけらはそんな私の目を覚ましてくれるものだったのねあなたが本当の意味で真実の魔女となってくれるのを待つために随分と多くのゲームを重ねることになったわね
Well, she's really been, out of the picture ever since you turned her to fucking hamburger meat.
でもその全てに意味があったと思うこの最後の最後のゲームであなたは真実の魔女に至れたのだから教えてあの日あの島で何があったのそれを直接教えろなんて言わないわだから指し示して私は何をすれば真実に至ることができるのここは少し涼しすぎるわ場所を移しましょうどこへマシな紅茶が飲める場所へよ
Ugh, we go into the cigar lounge. Or the cafe. Massive applause filled the hall. It was an applause in honor of a good fight. Applause in honor of Bernkastel.
そしてベルンカステル教のゲームもまた素晴らしいものであったぞ。
Uh-huh.
みんなにも彼女のゲーム版を公開するので、ぜひ挑戦してみてほしい。かなりの力作だぜ。
Oh, it's pretty gruesome.
結局
Not the worst one so far, but
誰にも解けないゲームなんてゲームじゃないわ。肝心なのは面白かったかどうかよ。
okay, but that was pretty softball compared to like every other chapter so far. So I'm not gonna fucking puff myself up too much for figuring it out.
面白かったぞ。そこはわらわも保証する。
俺もだ。最初はこんなの解けるわけがないって思ったが、
Just whittle it down bit
一
by
つずつ
bit.
有効になる紫発言を使い、容疑者を絞っていくあたりはパズル的な面白さがあったぜ。
I only needed a couple hints.
集まれ集まれ。
ベルンカステル教の推理ゲームってどんなのかし
それはやってみてのお楽しみ。
Objects resembling chessboards were set out on several tables. Crowds gathered around each, looking down with interest.
ほうほう。これは論理パズルのようだね。
なかなかの正統派ではありませんか。
これが魔女のゲームってものなんだね。
はあ、こうやって見るとただのゲームなんだよな。
Yeah, must be not feel too good to know you got killed though.
でもこれ駒にとってはとんでもない大事件なんだぜ。
それもそうですな。
せっかくのベルンカステル教の手土産です。
Mm-hmm.
楽しませていただきましょう。
しかしこれは難解ですね。
Yeah, yeah.
本当に解けるようにできているのかどうかさえ怪しくないですか。
Oh, it's a
解ける
puzzle.
ようにできていることをまず信じろ。問題は解けるように出されている。
It wouldn't be a puzzle if it wasn't
出題
solvable.
者を信頼して初めて思考の戦いは始まる。
その点は俺たちも保証するぜ。さあさあ、ぜひ挑戦してみてくれ。
With Battler's encouragement, discussions over Bergestell's mystery game began at each table. The mix of humans and fantasy creatures in heated discussion was truly a sight to behold. Beato and Bergestell sat in a chair far off from the discussion.
お茶にご希望はございますか。
わらわには何か落ち着く紅茶が良い。それをミルクティーにしてくれぬか。
かしこまりました。ベルンカステル教は何かご希望はございますか。
I don't know, milk tea sans the tea.
紅茶に梅干しを沈めてちょうだい。まずい紅茶を飲みやすくする
Like on
コ
the
ツ。
side or like you're putting it in?
そうへそを曲げるなというのだ。そなたのゲームは実に面白かったと称えているというのに。
Since she had emerged victorious in the game Bergenstell had put all her heart into, the look on Beato's face was positively gleeful.
別にへそを曲げてなんかいないわよ。私はもともとこういう顔よ。
Nah, you do make a lot of like pretty expressive facial, expressions when you get into it.
そんな
When
表
you're
情
really
の
going
中
off.
にベルンなりの温かみを見出せた時にね、私は真っ暗闇の雪山の頂上で美しい星を見つけたような気持ちになるのよ。
悪かったわね。顔がいつも
Yeah, you got a real hard resting bitch face, not gonna lie.
やれ
Doesn't help you got an attitude
ベ
to
ル
go
ンカ
with
ステ
it.
ル教を称えることは難しい。なんと褒めても嫌味と受け取られてしまうぞ。
The rose is even prettier for its thorns, Beatrice.
大丈夫よ。後でしみじみと噛みしめるタイ
Adds
プ
to
だ
the
から。
charm.
ほうほう、ベッドの中で枕を抱きながら噛みしめるタイプか。
そうそう、そんな感じそんな感じ。
Beato and Landidelta giggled together. Berngestell shrugged and looked away.
でもよ、よくひねった。面白いゲームだったぜ。
そうありがとう。
解けないようにも作れるのに、お前はちゃんと解けるように作ったもんな。
Well, if it was unsolvable, it would just go right into a logic error, wouldn't it?
それは ゲームを楽しもうというフェア精神がなければできないことだ。
私は絶対に勝てるゲームが好きよ。勝てないかもしれないゲームなんて。
Oh god, you're one of the people who fucking plays with cheats on Counter-Strike just so you can win.
今度は攻守を逆にしてゲームを
Just
したん
straight
だ。
up fucking aimbots and wall hacking.
俺が出題して、それにあんたが挑戦する。あんたが俺に勝つゲームだ。もちろんこれまでのベアトとの戦いで培ったノウハウの全てを突っ込んだ。俺が2
Real
連勝
double
しちま
black
うくらいの
diamonds
つもりの
fucking puzzle.
あんたもベアトも、あんたたちってつくづく面白い考え方ね。
何が？
ゲームは勝敗を決するための手段でしょ。そしてそれを仕掛けるからには、至上目的は自分の勝利のはず。
No, the real level designers, you
な
know,
のに自分が負
making
け
it so
るか
that
もし
the
れない
person
ゲ
who plays
ー
it
ム
tries
を
to have fun.
どうしてわざわざ仕掛けるの？
絶対に勝てるゲームなんてつまらないだろ。
Oh, at least Battler is.
そんなのゲームじゃない。
Beatrice kind of made most of her games to fuck with Battler.
勝つか負けるか、そのフェアなやりとりが面白いんじゃないか。ゲームってのは戦いじゃない、コミュニケーションなんだ。その過程を楽しむ。勝敗という結果は
Yeah, yeah, now that we've had our big fight, now we're all friends.
やっとベアトたちと私の考えの何が違うのか。
違いって？
あんたたちにはコミュニケーション、私にはそうでないということよ。
お前
For you, it's establishing
随分
superiority.
殺伐とした世界に生きてるんだな。
あんただってベアトのゲームを理解するまではそうだったはずよ。
Yeah, Burns just out there fucking chain smoking, fucking playing Counter-Strike Source.
永遠のゲームは永遠の拷問。
Just with a bunch of Eastern Europeans and like one guy from Armenia.
その苦しみをあんたはもうきれいさっぱり忘れてしまったというの。
確かにそう思った日もあった。しかしもう決着はついた。
Yeah, no hard feelings. Like the time you tricked us real bad in episode 3? That was 3. Yeah, it was 3. Or you made him crawl on the ground naked in a dog collar and leash in front of everyone at the end of episode 2. Yeah, no hard feelings on that.
そうなれば過去のことはぐちぐち言わない。ノーサイドってやつだ。
そこに私とあんたの致命的な違いがある気がするわ。あんたにとっての永遠の拷問は笑って水に流せる程度のものだった。私にとってのそれはそんな生優しいものではなかった。そういうことだわ。
あんたの生い立ちは知らねえが。
Yeah, that's a different 100+ hour fucking can of worms we're not gonna get into.
苦労があったみたいだな。
なりごまごときのあんたに同情されるとは私も焼きが回ったもんね。
Bernkastel, sipping the black tea that Genji had brought her, gazed up at the ceiling with a faraway look. Battler may not have known her history, but even he was able to understand a bit of how she felt.
今のあんたは誰かの拷問に苛まれているのか。
まさか私は自由人よ。誰の束縛も受けない。
What about your own?
ならよかったじゃねえか。少なくとも昔とは違う。
そうね、昔に比べたらだいぶマシだわ。退屈から逃げおせるための
Mm-hmm.
長い
Yeah, you're moving up in life. You went from sleeping on the floor to at least sleeping on an air mattress, you know?
ならこの出会いは少なくともお前にとってはいいもののはずだ。
そうね、敗北の味も多少は退屈から私を遠ざけてくれ
Oh,
る。
maybe now after all this, you might be able to like move on from the air mattress to like, you know, a box spring on the ground. Might be a little too soon for you to get the bed frame of the box spring, but you can at least get the box spring. No. Adler was shaking his head and laughing.
俺たちはフェアなゲームを戦って楽しんだ。
だから
もしお前の日々が 退屈から逃げ回るためだけのものだというなら、たまには俺たちのところに寄るといい。俺たちは友人を歓迎する。
Just leave your fucked up murder mysteries at home, okay?
そして友人を退屈から逃すため
Come
に
by for like the fan
い
disc
ろい
where
ろな
it's,
もて
you
なし
know,
やねぎらいをするだろう。
the Higurashi Kira of Umineko, if that's a thing.
この大ベルンカステル
Golden Fantasia, yeah, come by for that.
もてなしをあんたらができると。
ああ、それが友人ってもんだ。今夜のゲームでは俺たちが勝った。だから次に来るときは攻守を逆にしよう。今度は俺たちのゲームであんたをもてなす。もちろんあっさりと
yeah,
勝ちを譲るつもりは
if
ない
you've
ぜ。
been floating around for this long, you at least know how to do pretzel motions, right?
とことんひねった極悪な推理ゲームで挑戦してやるぜ。一夜で解かせるつもりなんかね。それこそ数ヶ月は頭をひねって滞在する羽目になるくらいの用意してやるぜ。
この大ベルンカステルは友人としてもてなすと。
Yeah, sure, it's good to have friends in high places.
ああ、そうだ。
あんたたちに付き合ってるとせっかくの梅干し紅茶もなんだかベタベタに甘くなってくるわ。やってらんない。
ベアトに聞いたぜ。梅干し紅茶とやらが好物なんだってな。金箔まぶした最高級梅干しを紅茶に放り込んでやるから。
Eh, I don't do the gold
それを楽しみにして
leaf.
ま
I
た
mentioned
こいってんだ。
before, it's just such a waste.
もし本気でそう思ってるならもう少しはマシな紅茶を用意することね。こんなまずい紅茶じゃ二度と来てやろうという気
Hey,
には
it's
なら
better
な
than
い。
instant, so just be glad about
や
that.
れやれ。普段はよっぽどお上品な紅茶を飲んでやがるらしいぜ。むしろ今度その紅茶が飲めるところに招待しやがれ。
あんたは私
Yeah, you know, it's a two-way street.
フェアだろ。俺たちももてなす。だからお前も俺たちをもてなせ。
I need to do a better job with that with my friends. The problem is I never do anything. You know, I just sit at home. I mean, I'll go out, you know, but not for like big things. You know, it's like occasional, like go to the mall just to you know walk around, people watch for a bit. You know, the whole shebang. But I think that would really you know be good to invite my friends out for.
そうね。フェアだわ。
だからゲームもフェアに行こう。攻守を交代してまたゲームをしようぜ。
And my place is way too small to have like people over for like a get together. You know, I could maybe have like 2 people over, but then I would be like having to like exclude some other people. I don't like doing that.
その機
I
会
don't
を
want to have
楽
to
しみ
play
にしている。
favorites, you know, to have people over.
今回は俺たちの勝ちだったが次はわからねえさ。
そこまでおごれれば大したものだわ。でもね、あんたは一つ勘違いをしているわ。
何をだよ。
私のゲームは
Mm-hmm.
まだ終
Yeah,
わ
we're
っちゃ
only
い
on
ない
like
わ。
part 7 or something right now. We got at
最後の
least like
一つは
5, 6 more to go.
かしらね。
After taking one more sip of her black tea, Bernkastel set her cup on the table, wearing a thin smile.
ここの紅茶は甘すぎて飲めたもんじゃないわ。源氏、ありがとう。下げてちょうだい。
かしこまりました。
Genji's just sitting in the kitchen with like a fucking pitcher of like iced tea and like a bag of sugar and just mixing it in until it, you know, it no longer dissolves. Bernkastel asked for her tea to be taken away after taking only 2 sips. Battler smiled, realizing that this was just Bernkastel's way of being shy. Mm-hmm, just hide it behind the haughty exterior. Battler, why are you smiling with such a foolish, carefree face? If you really think this final game will be nothing but a happy epilogue, then I'll have to invite you all to a proper game for bringing this tale to a close. Battler, you forget things too easily. Don't you remember in whose hands lies the key to this final game? The inside of my nose itched. Well, if you're alone, you can just scratch it, you know. Never regained consciousness to a smell before. Slowly, I opened my eyes. Wait, when did I lose consciousness in the first place? don't remember going to sleep or falling unconscious. That's right. Bergestell invited me to come to a place better for drinking tea. That's why my memory gets hazy. And since the smell of black teas is what woke me up. And my voice is cracking.
紅茶の趣味がいいことだけは、たとえあいつであっても認めざるを得ないところだわ。
I was sitting on what appeared to be a sofa in a dimly lit study. Bergestell sat across from me, and right before my eyes was a beautiful cup filled with steaming hot tea.
ここは確か。
I remembered. I've been here before, wasn't it?
久しぶりだな、人の子よ。
Hey. Yes, that voice. Just hearing it brings back memories.
久しぶりじゃない、我が主。
Yeah, you old bag.
そなたを再び我が書斎に招けるとは思わなかったぞ。まさか、そなたたちのゲームに
Yeah, crazy.
まだ
It's
続
been
き
going on
が
for a
あ
real
る
long time, huh? For,
続きなんて
8
甘いもの
months,
じゃ
some
ない
would say.
これが本当の最後のピリオドのゲームよ。
This was the study of Featherine Augustus Aurora. Characters. What's up, Featherine? God, Jesus Christ. Oh, there's double ups now? Oh God, we have to go through a bunch, don't we? There's some stuff in there. Featherine Augustus Aurora, the majestic witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. She's tired of life after 1,000 years and constantly repeats a cycle of life and death. In the past, she served as a master of numerous games as a legendary witch, but her legend, glory, and memory have already disappeared into the past and been forgotten. Only the solemn medal she wears on her chest retains those memories. The horseshoe-shaped object floating around her head is a memory aid device. It records her name, appearance, and other aspects of personality. She is so old that she would not be able to perceive her own individuality without this. So if she's ever getting snooty, just fucking give it a whack off her head. Lord Battler and his wife. Battler, the territory lord of the game board, and his wife Beatrice, after their wedding in the 6th game, they became happily married couple. In the past, Battler emerged victorious at the end of his long-standing game with Beato, and he reached all the truths behind everything. The two of them have now invited Battler's little sister, Anjay, to a final game. Just what sort of tale will they weave with Beato by his side? Lambda Delta invited as a guest to the final game by the territory lord and his wife. At times in the past, she interfered with the game board along with Bernkastel, but now she remains neutral, acting as an impartial observer. She is known for having many famous friends from various circles, but the fact that Bernkastel is among them is something that should be noted with awe. Burn! Though she is the witch who controls miracles, she is also known as the witch who knows that miracles don't occur. Obsessed with destroying witch illusions, even now, at a time when Beato's game board has fully served its purpose, she remains fixated on seeing them destroyed. She's known as the Miko of the Great Lady Aurora, and rumor has it that this backing has given her considerable influence in the Senate. Willard H. Wright, Usharmia Leon. While carrying out a job as Inquisitor at Burns' request, Willard met Leon. In the final stages of the tale, he rejected the tragedy presented by the Witch of Miracles. The two risked their lives wandering through the Sea of Fragments in search of a happy ending. The two are now under Lady Lambda Delta's protection. Rudo Erica, the Witch of Truth, who made a comeback from the depths of oblivion. She is a rare anomaly, being at once a detective, a human, and a witch. Once again, she will serve her master Bernkastelner's scheming. Ava Beatrice, the witch who survived the witch legend serial murder case and inherited the name Beatrice. She uses the Ava culprit theory to refute all other theories that exist regarding the cat box. At the same time, she can use the Ava culprit theory to create endless tragedies with herself as the culprit. Perhaps she could be called the lid of the cat box, separating the inside from the outside. Of course, she knows its contents. Virgilia, retired Endless Witch and Beatrice's master, made proper use of endless magic and dedicated her life to the happiness and smiles of people, taught Beatrice the endless magic, and retired believing that Beatrice would devote herself to people the same way. As well as being Beatrice's master, she is also known as the consulting mage of Beatrice's old home. For that reason, Virgilia interacted with her in the manner of a servant. It is said that this was responsible for causing Beatrice's egotism and excess. Renove, one of the 72 demons, serves as master in the exchange of various forms of compensation. Presently has a contract with Beatrice as her head butler, head furniture, has multiple underlings trained in housekeeping, and he himself is extremely capable as a butler. Employing him has become a kind of status symbol. Should possess enormous magical power, but he always shows deference to his master. Are you, you guys all the same? However, powers are the ultimate weapon. Yeah. The Leonard Knox, Insane Jungfrau, 7th District Repentance, Importance Agency of the Great Court of Heaven, Inquisitor. She gets the name Death Sentence. Her father, Legendary Inquisitor. You guys are all the same. Okay. Yeah. Chester, 556, Quiet Girl, D's, state of their weapon, colored, Church of Firing Squad. She shot not to kill, but to protect her allies. And then you guys are all cool. It's mainly the top ones we had to go through. And then Babylon J, which we've already read before. Ooh. The majestic witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. Once in the past, I was summoned by her in order to be your reader, or Miko.
まさか私をまた朗読役に？
そなたを呼んだのは私ではない。我が巫女がそなたと私を引き合わせたのだ。
何のために？
決まってるじゃない。
Have some tea.
あんたに真実に至るための道しるべを示すためよ。
Over tea, of course.
フェザリーヌが私に示してくれるの？
私は感激の魔女だ。舞台の上の役者に干渉することはあまり好まぬのだがな。
Yeah, but now it's like a Blue Man Group kind of performance where, you know, crowd interaction is important. So.
私の手による運命の分岐を司る刺激的な芝居を感激するのとどっちを好むのかしら。退屈に1分1秒だって耐えられないくせに。
As Featherine rocked her rocking chair, she looked up at the ceiling and chuckled. She clearly holds some key to the truth I seek.
鍵を握っているのは文字通りそなたではないか。私にできるのはその鍵で開けることのできる
Thank you.
鍵穴を教えることだけだ。
I don't remember saying anything out loud, but Featherine answered my question as though I had. Come to think of it, that's right. Featherine can read the thoughts of a mere child of man like me as easily as she can hear me speak. Well, I guess that'll help us get to the point quicker.
この鍵はお兄ちゃんがくれた。でも使うべき時に使い方がわかるみたいなことを言って何に使えばいいのかは教えてくれなかっ
I
た。
don't know, you see some really fancily ordained keyhole with butterflies and roses that kind of matches the motif.
あんたたちは知ってる
No,
の？
that's usually the trick.
この鍵は何？お兄ちゃんはとても大切なものだと言っていた。
我が巫女よ、説明せよ。
いやよ。
It's like a Resident Evil key, you know, the fucking, you know, all the card fucking face keys, you know, the spade, the club, the heart, the diamonds.
あんたが説明しなさい。
Just
あ
the
んた
sound
に
with the
説明
butterfly
をさ
key.
せようというのか。
たまにはその程度の舞台参加もしなさいよ。ボケ防止にいいわよ。
やれやれ。エンジェの朗読の時に久々の舞台を堪能したので、もう数百年は十分だと思っていたのだがな。
Oh, hush.
教えて、この鍵は何なの？
そなたの決断を具現化したものだ。この物語は、ゲームは、そなたにある決断を求めることで終わりを迎える。
Okay.
その決断するという行為を鍵の形に具現化したものがそなたのそれだ。
私の決断を具現化したもの。
そういうこと。最終的にあんたはおそらくバトラからその鍵で開けられる2枚の扉の前に立たされ、どちらの扉を開くか選択を迫られるでしょうね。
What, yeah, like the actual truth or the truth that makes you
それ
happy?
くらいは聞かされてる？
何も教えてくれない。叱るべき時が来れば、
Mm-hmm.
みたいなことしか言わないの。お兄ちゃんも誰も何も教えてくれない。
バトラはそなたの自由意志による選択を尊重したいのであろうな。
There's gonna be 3 doors, and we're just gonna do the Monty Hall problem again.
でもエンジェ、もううすうすは気づき始めてるんじゃない？
何を？
バトラはあんたに選ばせたい答えがあるんじゃない？
Those words made my heart jump in my chest. I've been thinking that Oni-chan is clearly trying to distance me from the truth, to gloss over it with a vague tale that's almost like a daydream. At the 1986 family conference, everyone had a wonderful time as they faded away. Everyone is smiling down on you from heaven, so you don't need to feel alone, even in 1998. So, give it your all and live on by yourself. I get the very strong sense that Oni-chan is intending to end it just like that. And every time I ask him about it, he dodges the issue and says something about how the decision will be mine in the end.
その通りよ。バトラは一見
Okay, yeah, but even if we make our own decision, do we still get to keep the Beatrice doll?
実際はあなたにはっきりとある一方の選択肢を選ばせようと画策している。そのための茶番のような物語をあなたはすでに延々と見せられているでしょう。
That unbelievably bizarre Halloween party. Everyone's so strangely friendly that it was almost sickening. I've already seen more than enough of that tale. So sickeningly sweet, it makes me want to vomit. Where Ushiromiya Kinzo showered me with affection, where children swore to support each other, where everyone was filled with happiness and hope.
仲良し小良しで煙に巻いて、私を真実から遠ざけようとしている。お兄ちゃんは卑怯だわ。
確かに、そなたから見れば卑怯とも呼べよう。しかし、そなたはこのゲームのプレイヤーであり、バトラがゲームマスターだというなら、それは何を意味するというのか。かつてバトラはプレイヤーで、ベアとはゲームマスターだったわ。そして、二人はそれぞれの真実のために戦ったわ。そして今度は
私がプレイヤーで、ゲームマスターはお兄ちゃんだわ。
Could it be that I've misunderstood everything from the very beginning? Oni-chan said that he'd tell me what happened that day, so I was under the impression that I'd learn everything if I followed him. Would that be any different than, say, Oni-chan accepting everything Bito said about the crimes being the work of a witch? What a stupid mistake I've been making.
このゲームは
Yeah, it's like
私と
the Bito thing in
お
episode
兄ちゃん
3.
の戦いのゲームだったの？
But he's not doing it like maliciously, kind of like she was, but even then she wasn't. But kinda. She was just kind of doing it to goad him on, be like, "Come on, aren't you gonna remember? Aren't you gonna remember now?" and then he actually got real mad, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I kind of fucked it up."
それを理解せずにゲームに臨んでいたとは驚きだ。
God, Bito is such a fucking pathetic failure. Like a miserable human being.
バトラは狡猾だわ。それをあんたに理解させずに最後のゲームをさっさと始めてしまった。まあ、かつてのベアとのゲームもそうだったわ。バトラはわけもわからないうちに彼女のゲームに巻き込まれていた。戦い方さえわからずにね。だから私が教えたわ。今度も同じよ。わけのわからないうちにゲームを始められてしまったあんたに私は教えに来たのよ。
Okay, though, to be fair, Anjay's been able to, like, fucking read past transcripts of, like,
誰と何を戦うゲームをしているのかをね。
seven different games, so she's a bit more of an advantage. I was too shocked to speak. And finally, I realized what I needed to accomplish in this game. I've always been passive. I was sure that Oni-chan would tell me everything, so I naively thought I just had to believe whatever he said.
違ったのよ。そうじゃない。
This game is a battle between me, the one who wants to reach the truth, and Oni-chan, who wants to trick me and chase me out into a 1998 where I'm all alone. All this time, I kept on saying that Oni-chan was foolish and naive. Now I see that I was more naive than anyone else. Despite this, Bernkastel didn't sneer at me. On the contrary, she looked at me with that cold gaze, as if to say, "So, you're finally taking the first step."
理解できた？自分とその鍵の意味。
I gripped the key that Oni-chan had hung around my neck. And for a while, I shook with an emotion that even I couldn't understand. Now that I know Oni-chan tricked me, it would be easy to hate him. But hating him would be missing the point. After all, this is a game between me and him. Oni-chan has done nothing but make the optimal moves to win against me. If games aren't just a playful way to communicate, if they're the process that decides who wins and who loses, then there can be no fair games. The best strategy is obviously to hit your opponent with a sneak attack and defeat them before they even know what's going on, never even telling them the rules. In that sense, Oni-chan hasn't done anything wrong. He's using that sickeningly sweet illusion to trick me and force me out into a lonely future. They'll be the only ones having a good time in the cat box. I'll be the only one chased out.
ありがとう。感謝するわ。ようやく本当の意味で目が覚めた気がするわ。
バトラーを憎まないであげて。ゲームマスターとは本来、相手を一方的に騙すものなのだから。
分かってるわよ。お兄ちゃんはお兄ちゃんの立場で最善を尽くした。ただそれだけということよ。なら私も私の立場で最善を尽くさない。
Like when you're playing a board game with your nieces and nephews and you're, using your big adult brain and you can actually think like a couple steps ahead and you can just thrash them no matter what game it is. My goal is clear now. October 4th and 5th, 1986. What happened on Rokenjima that day? I need to tear off the veil covering the truth. Nothing more, nothing less.
お兄ちゃんは私にこの鍵をお兄ちゃんが望む鍵穴に入れさせたいのでしょうね。
But kind of like guide you in a way that you think it's you making the choice.
そのために私に延々と甘ったるい幻想を見せつけて。でももうごまかされないわ。私は私の望む扉を自ら選んで開く。
ぼんやりとバトラの言いなりになっているエンジェよりはこの方が確かに私の好む物語であるな。
Yeah, it's good to have some agency.
続きを今度こそあんたに任せるわ。エンジェに教えてあげて。真実に至る鍵穴を
教えて。私にその鍵穴を。
いいだろう。まずは腰を下ろすがよい。
Give us our next quest point.
今持ってこようぞ。
Ooh. When Featherine rose from her rocking chair, my vision seemed to twist and bend. What? Some kind of interference? Why now, when Featherine's about to show me something important? Is my head getting suddenly... I dug my fingernails into my knees, clenching my teeth to keep from losing consciousness. However, the world just kept twisting more and more. Except for the feel of the sofa beneath me, I couldn't sense anything at all.
Ojo.
Yeah, you were drooling.
先方がいらっしゃったようですぜ。
Hey! The door opened, and Achijo Toya appeared. But that is where we're going to end it here for today. I know we're probably like 5-10 minutes away from the chapter ending, but my mouth is very dry, and it's like I'm getting kind of like cotton mouthy, and I don't like it. So I don't want to talk anymore. So, once again, I was being girl for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Tell me how smart I am for figuring out that very easy solution to Burnt Castell's game there. And I will see you guys all next time, where Miss Hachijo Toya here is gonna, point Anjay in the right direction. Give her a new quest. And oh yeah, I did say I would show you guys my Word document. Hold on. Oh god, I gotta add like a window source. I don't want display capture. I want not application audio. Image. Where's window capture? Window capture. There it is. I don't. Sure, make the source visible. Then I gotta assigned. Oh no. Oh fuck, I did it wrong. No, window. Word. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh god, it's. Yeah, and my name, my actual name's on there. Fantastic. If you want to just, look through it slowly, and then I'll blur my name out in editing, so that way you don't all fucking send bombs to my house. I'd really prefer it if you didn't do that, like, a lot. Ignore all the weird spelling mistakes like in right there when it says, everyone headed to Kraus and Nazi's room, and did Nazi room. And found a crowd and Nazi line sprawled on the floor. Yeah, thank you, Microsoft Word Dictate. Oh god, what was that even supposed to be? It was like everyone headed to Kraus and Natsuhi's room together. And in Natsuhi's room, they found Kraus and Natsuhi sprawled on the floor. That's what it was supposed to be. It also didn't like Kumasawa's name. It always like broke it up into two. It never put the H in Goda's name. Yeah, it was always Kumazawa and Goda, or Kumasawa, making her two people. Yeah, it did some weird stuff, but that is where we're done. Thanks for watching, guys. I already said my bit, so I'm just gonna end it now. Bye. Mwah.